Aloha everyone. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about the best decision that I made as a real estate investor last year. And I'll show you exactly how you can apply the same strategy to get even better results for yourself this year. On average, real estate investors who implement this strategy keep an extra $40,000 per year in cash flow with just 4 hours of work. But depending on your personal situation, it isn't uncommon for that number to be well over $100,000. So this probably sounds way too good to be true, but this tax saving strategy has actually been in the news lately. However, you might have thought that it just didn't apply to you.
But the biggest victory of all came 10 days ago when I signed the one big, beautiful bill into law. Right?
Yes, I'm talking about the return of 100% bonus depreciation that was just passed by the One Big Beautiful Bill. Now, to be clear, this is not a political video and I'm not here to endorse or oppose any political party or ideas. I just want to make sure that everyone, including the beginning investors, understand how bonus depreciation works. I don't make the rules, I just work within the system that is given to me, and I think you should be able to do the same. So if you bought any investment property anytime in the past 5 years, or even if you're still thinking about buying one this year, there's a really good chance it will cut tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars from your tax bill, especially if you're a high income earner. And if you're able to use the short-term rental loophole, this will even work for people that want to defer W-2 and earned income from a regular job or career. So this isn't just for the billionaires, it works for the small investors too. Best of all, if done properly, it only takes a few hours of your time. So let's jump right into it. But before I do, it's important to know that I'm not a CPA and this is not tax advice. This video is for educational purposes only, and you should always consult with a qualified tax professional about your personal scenario. That being said, I will share a link in the description below to the company that I used to help me implement my bonus depreciation strategy, and they specialize in working with everyday investors just like you and me. They're the real experts, not me. I'm just sharing enough to get you started. So what is bonus depreciation? Well, first you need to understand what regular depreciation or straight line depreciation is for an investment property. So let me explain. When you buy a rental property, the IRS allows you to depreciate or write off the value of the structure over time. For residential properties like condos and houses that are used for short-term rentals, the straight line depreciation is spread over a 27.5-year depreciation schedule. It is important to note that you can only depreciate the value of the improvements on the land, not the land itself. So here's an example of straight line depreciation. For easy math, let's say you buy a short-term rental for $1 million, and if we assume the land value is $200,000, which is information you can usually find in the tax records, this would give us a building value of $800,000. If we divide that $800,000 by 27.5 years, it means you can write off an extra $29,090 from your taxes each year. Now, this is certainly helpful, but it will probably only help to offset a portion of the rental income you receive from the property. However, it gets much better when you use accelerated and bonus depreciation. With accelerated depreciation, instead of waiting 27.5 years to write off the full value of the building, you can now write off certain parts of the property faster. Because if you break down all the different components of a property, there are certain parts that have a much shorter lifespan than 27.5 years. And this is where a cost segregation study is a total game changer. A cost segregation study is a detailed, engineered-based report that breaks down your property into these different components. It identifies items that can be depreciated over 5, 7, or 15 years, which speeds up the depreciation schedule. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because things like appliances, carpet, light fixtures, water heaters, security systems, and even ceiling fans are all likely to need replacing sooner than the standard 27.5 years. Now, it gets even better with bonus depreciation though, because if you're a real estate professional or if you're able to use the short-term rental loophole, you can now potentially write off 100% of the components of your property that wear out between 5 and 15 years. And that's all in the first year. A typical cost segregation study will find around 20 to 30% of the entire value of the property qualifies for this 100% bonus depreciation. And that's a huge deal. So if we use the same $1 million property example as we did before, we could potentially write off 25% of the $800,000 building value, which is a massive $200,000 deduction on your taxes. So depending on your income tax and your tax bracket, this would likely save you thousands of dollars in taxes, which is obviously a huge increase in your cash flow for the year. Remember, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you can keep. Now, until just recently, bonus depreciation was phasing out. So last year when I did my cost segregation study, I was only able to use 60% bonus depreciation. But now, thanks to the One Big Beautiful Bill, it's back to 100% bonus depreciation this year. And it's important to know that you can still apply bonus depreciation to the properties that you bought several years ago. There seems to be a common misconception that you lose the ability to claim bonus depreciation if you don't take it in the year that you purchased the property. And I'm here to tell you that that's just not true. So hopefully this long explanation was helpful, but if it only confused you, the bottom line is that if you bought an investment property, especially a short-term rental, anytime in the past 5 years, you can probably significantly reduce your next year's tax bill. And the first step is to talk to the experts. Use the link in the description to schedule a quick consultation with the cost segregation company that I use and that I've now partnered with. There's a lot of different cost segregation companies to choose from, but these guys have been by far the easiest for me to work with as a short-term rental owner. So unless you enjoy paying taxes, this is definitely something that all short-term rental investors should explore. If you know anyone that purchased a short-term rental anywhere in the United States, please share this video with them. If you happen to be a real estate agent or a mortgage broker watching this video, you should definitely share it with your clients so they don't miss out. And if you've been considering buying a short-term rental for investment, but the rental income versus expenses doesn't fully pencil out the way you like, make sure you're considering the potential for tax savings as one of the core reasons people invest in short-term rentals like this. And of course, if you're looking for a short-term rental anywhere in Hawaii, I would be happy to help, as I am a very active real estate broker in addition to being an investor myself. So just fill out the contact form on my website and let me know what you're looking for, and I'll get you started in the right direction, whether it's working directly with me or with one of my talented associates that specialize in various short-term rental markets. Oh, and one more thing. The rental income calculator that I recommend also has a short-term rental tax calculator that's very helpful when researching different properties. After you enter the property's address, you not only get the rental income estimates, you can fine-tune the estimated expenses to calculate the ROI. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there is a tax savings calculator. All you have to do is enter your annual income and your income tax rate, and it will give you your estimated tax savings if you were to use the short-term rental loophole and bonus depreciation. There's a link in the description to that tool as well. Anyways, that's all I have for you on this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you found this information helpful, and I hope to see you on the next video. Aloha.